Can you make a battery from charred wood and aluminum foil? How about copper and aluminum foil? Well, it turns out different materials have different electrochemical potentials. That means something like aluminum is more willing to give up its electrons, making it more reactive, while copper is more stable. We can see this on a galvanic series chart, which shows how likely different materials are to corrode. When aluminum oxidizes, or corrodes, it gives up electrons, making the negative side, called the anode. Those electrons then flow towards the copper, the positive side called the cathode, giving us electricity. The further apart two materials are on the chart, the larger the potential voltage between them. Now on their own, not much happens because the reaction needs a path for ions to move away from the metal surfaces while electrons flow through the circuit. To do that, we need an electrolyte. Here I'm pouring in tap water, which already contains some dissolved salts and minerals. And as we can see, it does produce a small voltage. The easiest way to improve this is by adding salt as an electrolyte. When I sprinkle some in, we can see the voltage increase in real time as the salt dissolves, because it gives a much better path for ions to move through the solution. Another thing we can try is increasing the surface area of our foil to see if that has an effect. Originally, I cut a 1x1 square of aluminum, and that's what's being used right now. Let's try replacing it with a 2x2 square and see if doubling the surface area maybe doubles the voltage. And when we do so, we only see a minor improvement in voltage, likely because the fresh aluminum surface has less oxidation on it. Increasing the surface area can help the battery deliver more current, but does not significantly change the electrochemical potential between copper and aluminum. So what about changing the materials? If we look at the chart, carbon's actually quite stable, and while I can't make pure graphite, we can try using the carbon from wood in the form of charcoal. More specifically, we want to heat the wood in the absence of oxygen, so it turns into charcoal instead of ash. I do that by stuffing some sticks into the metal bottle and leaving the cap barely on to let gases escape. After the white smoke stopped escaping, I let the material cool down, and what we're left with is a brittle black substance called charcoal, which is mostly carbon. And unlike wood, which is an insulator, charcoal is conductive enough to try and use in a crude battery. I'll go ahead and repeat the same procedure as before, pouring in some tap water. Again, we see the voltage increases as we sprinkle in some salt, improving our electrolytes. And even though carbon should have a higher potential than copper, this charcoal still contains impurities and isn't pure carbon like the graphite listed on the chart, leading to high internal resistance and lower performance. Also, I have the lead swapped around, leading to a negative voltage. When I place the positive probe on the cathode, the copper, and the negative probe back on the anode, the foil, the voltage reading is now positive, confirming that the aluminum is indeed giving up its electrons, and those are flowing towards the copper. Playing with the materials, we can try swapping out the aluminum foil for an aluminum alloy like 6061, which contains magnesium, a much more reactive metal. To use it, we'll first need to scratch off the oxidized outer layer to expose some fresh alloy. This time around, we get a much higher voltage due to the larger difference in potential thanks to the added magnesium. However, I did get the leads mixed up again, so we could swap it around so the voltage doesn't show as negative. But what was also interesting to note was that the more reactive magnesium started to corrode a lot quicker, and we can see the voltage dropping in real time as that outer oxidized layer prevents fresh alloy from being reacted. And while 0.7 volts won't really power a whole lot, it was still a lot of fun to play around with different materials, size, and electrolytes to see what would happen. And if you'll excuse me, I have a little bit of a mess to clean up. And with that said, thank you for watching.